Functions of management planning. Selecting missions and objectives as well as the actions to achieve them, which requires decision making. Organizing. Establishing an intentional structure of roles for people to fill in an organization. Motivating leading. Influence people so that they will contribute to organizational and group goals. Controlling. Measuring and correcting individual and organizational performance. Roles in interaction. Interpersonal head of an organization, leader, center of communication, communicative roles. Informational monitor, information share, spokesperson, roles in decision making. Decisional entrepreneur, problem solver, resource allocator, negotiator, role as change agent. Innovation, the entrepreneurial process, the competence building process, the renewal process. What skills do managers need? Technical skills, specialized knowledge including when and how to use the skills, interpersonal skills, sensitivity, persuasiveness, empathy, conceptual skills, logical reasoning, judgment, analytical abilities. Frederick Taylor, 1841-1925, ampersand scientific management, gave up college 1875 to work, got an engineering degree through evening studies, became chief engineer, later invented many steel cutting tools. Frederick Taylor's 4 principles of management develop a scientific way for each element of an individual's work, which replaces the old rule of thumb method. Scientifically select and then train, teach, and develop the worker. Heartily cooperate with the worker so as to ensure that all work is done in accordance with the scientific way that has been developed. Divide work and responsibility almost equally between managers and workers. Managers take over all work for which it is better fitted than the workers. Henry Fayol, perhaps the father of modern management theory, is a French industrialist. Henry Fayol gave up 14 principles that are still used by managers and organizations around the world. Specialization of labor. A principle of work allocation and specialization in order to concentrate activities to enable specialization of skills and understandings, more work, focus and efficiency. Authority with corresponding responsibility. If responsibilities are allocated, then the post holder needs the requisite authority to carry these out, including the right to require others in the area of responsibility to undertake duties. Discipline. The generalization about discipline is that discipline is essential for the smooth running of the business, and without its standards, consistency of action, adherence to rules and values, no enterprise could prosper. Order. The level of generalization becomes difficult with this principle. Basically, an organization should provide an orderly place for each individual member who needs to see how their role fits into the organization and be confident, able to predict the organization's behavior towards them. Thus, policies, rules, instructions, and actions should be understandable and understood. Unity of command. The idea is that an employee should receive instructions from one superior only. This generalization still holds even where we are involved with team and matrix structures, which involve reporting to more than one boss or being accountable to several clients. The basic concern is that tensions and dilemmas arise where we report to 2 or more bosses. Unity of direction. The unity of command idea of having one head chief executive, cabinet consensus with agreed purposes and objectives and one plan for a group of activities is clear subordination of individual interests. Fayol's line was that one employee's interests or those of one group should not prevail over the organization as a whole. This would spark a lively debate about who decides that the interests of the organization as a whole are. Ethical dilemmas and matters of corporate risk and the behavior of individuals are involved here. Fayol's work assumes a shared set of values by people in the organization, unitary, where the reasons for organizational activities and decisions are in some way neutral and reasonable. Remuneration. Employees centralization for services. Centralization is essential to the organization and a natural consequence of organizing. This issue does not go away even where flatter, devolved organizations occur. The modes of control over the actions and results of devolved organizations are still matters requiring considerable attention. Scalar chain line of authority. Formal chain of command running from top to bottom of the organization, like military. Scalar chain is the number of different levels of authority through which decisions are passed in the organization. Equity. Equity, fairness, and a sense of justice should pervade the organization in principle and practice. Personnel tenure. Time is needed for the employee to adapt to his/her work and perform it effectively. Stability of tenure promotes loyalty to the organization, its purposes and values. Initiative. At all levels of the organizational structure, zeal, enthusiasm, and energy are enabled by people having the scope for personal initiative. Esprit de corps. Here, Fayol emphasizes the need for building and maintaining of harmony among the workforce, teamwork, and sound interpersonal relations.